Welcome back to Studio K. I'm sitting here with the members of What Tyrants. Fantastic performance, guys. How are you feeling after that?
Feel great,
That's great.
warm. Put a lot of heart into that
Totally.
for you guys.
I can see it. I can see it. So your first performance in 5 years. What is it like to come back together in this fashion at a radio station?
Yeah, it's great. You know, I definitely miss playing music. 5 long years. So happy to get an album together and play with these guys one more time.
Totally.
You as well.
First things first, I'll have you all introduce yourselves and what you play in the band.
Sure. My name is Shaun. I sing and play guitar.
My name is Garrison. I play bass and do some production work and other instruments here and there too.
I'm Kyle and I play drums.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, today is a big day for you guys. First of all, first big piece of news is that you released your sophomore album today. How was I know it's been a short amount of time, but how has the reception been so far for Lo-Fi High?
Great. I have 2 children, 3 and 6, and they love it.
That's
so
great. That's all that matters, really.
yeah, hopefully everyone likes it, starting with them. So
Totally.
no, again, it's, we had it in the works for many years and then put off through moves across the coast and my children, pandemic, and we got our ducks in a row to
Yeah.
release it. So
Totally. And then tonight you have a show at Mortimer's, correct?
we do, yes,
That's awesome.
the album release show.
And it's your last performance.
It's also our last performance.
So sad.
yeah.
Can you tell me about? So this is the end of the road for you guys. Is
Mhm.
that because of the distance between the members and stuff?
Yeah, unless, like we were talking, unless the Pixies take us out on tour or we can get a lot more money for gigs, but no.
Well, let's hope this album takes off then. Maybe we'll bring you guys back together.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If we get enough response from
Yeah.
it. Cool. So what you played today, you played a few songs from that record. Do you want to talk about any one of those in particular? from the record?
Yeah, I mean, we started out with Dogs and Cats, which was like our single, and it's the lead off on the album. I just think it sets a great tone. Our first album was a little more, I don't want to say sarcastic again, a bit more lighthearted at times, even though it was like a punk record. And this one I feel like is more serious, just in some of the themes and stuff I sing about. But, it's a good tone setter. So we did that. Candy Flavored Pills, which was also kind of put out earlier as a single, which is a rollicking song. That was number 2. And then after that we did
Hendrix stuff.
Hendrix Stuff, yeah, which is my ode to Jimi Hendrix,
Very nice.
one of my favorite guitar players. Another rockin' one. And then Rainmaker, which I wrote for my wife because she bugged me that I never wrote songs for her. And I said I only write songs about things I don't like, things that make me mad or sad.
So this was an exception, right?
This was an
Okay,
exception,
good.
yeah. So I wrote a song for her called Rainmaker.
Cool.
It's a sweet little ballad. And then, the last song we played was actually from our first record, No Luck, and that was a song called Muffins. So
Yeah, totally. So you were talking about kind of like a change in tone lyrically between the first and second album. Is there something that sparked that change in perspective, or?
I mean, yeah, for sure. As a songwriter, I think oftentimes, normally I bring a shell of a song to these guys.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of work it. But I'll normally have an idea of what it's about or kind of structure. And, I think just some of the songs when I was writing them, some certain social things were happening and just reflecting on, who we are as a society. And, again, what not makes me mad, but concerned, and I think lyrics to me are almost personal, and I don't want to tell anybody what they're about, and
Oh, okay.
let people make their own,
Cool.
assessment and judgment and make the songs for themselves. But yeah, it's a little more serious, like the songs, the chords, the attitude behind it. Just it felt more dystopian, I think is the word I like to use.
Okay.
So
Dystopian.
like the end of the world.
Cool. When you wrote it before the pandemic, correct?
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Which
It works in retrospect.
Right.
Yeah, totally. Cool. Let's see here. So, sorry. So you've been sitting on this music for a while now, you said, right? And it was recorded around when?
like about 5 years ago, I want to say. So yeah, it's been a long time.
Some has been.
mean-
We've done some recording since then. We originally recorded out in New York the drums, and we did that with Converse, and then we tracked the rest of our stuff between Minnesota at Shaun's old place, and then out in Portland where I currently live. This is Garrison speaking, by the way. And yeah, Shaun and Kyle were very nice in the sense they let me kind of explore some production things. So there's a little bit of a variety there, a lot of synths and
Yeah.
more guitars than in previous releases. But yeah, I don't know, had to take it somewhere because, you know, that's part of the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And what sparked that experimentation with new instruments? It's just they were there, so you used them, or
Yeah, I think there was just a lot of space in the songs
Yeah.
for some of that as well. I think the first album, just reflecting as I wrote them, they were just a lot more like, I don't want to say poppy, or just kind of had a bit more like less space actually for like some of those synths and kind
Yeah.
of weird stuff, you know, dogs barking. And how these songs came out, there's just, space
Cool.
to be a little weird at
Cool.
times.
Awesome. So for this new record, say you have someone come up to you and they only have like 5 minutes. You want to hook them with one song. What song would you tell them to listen to off of this new record?
Well, the catchiest song is Rainmaker, again,
Okay.
the ballad. But I think I like Dogs and Cats, again, just kind of sets off the album. It kind of has the tone of all the songs
Yeah.
in my mind. So
Totally.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, so since this is your last day as a group together, I kind of want to hear your origin story as a group. How'd you guys come together?
oh man, it's a
Maybe-
long one. You sure?
I'm ready for it.
Because Kyle and I are brothers.
Okay.
So we've been
Cool.
playing music, I mean, as long as I can remember. He was probably like 3rd grade or 4th grade playing drums. And I was like 6th grade. So, you know, doing covers, Blink 182, all that kind of good stuff.
Nice.
And then fast forward, Garrison and I started playing in Black Diet together. So he's playing bass, I was playing keys. And then it's like, hey, we need a bass player. And Garrison is one of the best bass players I know, just musician. So
Sweet.
he kindly agreed to join the band, and yeah,
Cool.
kind of how it was. He recorded our first 7-inch that we put out
Oh wow.
in his basement studio. Yeah,
Awesome.
and we just started playing a bunch.
That's great. What have been like some highlights that you guys have shared as a group so far? Any big
I mean,
moments,
there's-
any big performances?
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, like getting invited to play CMJ in New York was really cool.
Yeah.
Opening for Fiddler and Mets was a cool one at 7th Street. Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, we did WrestleMania at First Ave, main room, WrestlePalooza. Yeah.
What did that look like? You were playing while people were wrestling, or what?
No, in between, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They had, but they had like the big, big wrestling, what do you even call it? A ring, wrestling ring, in the middle of First Ave, right, and then a little stage, and super cool event, like great people. Yeah, that was a really fun one.
I think your music would be fun to wrestle to. I think maybe
Thanks.
you should do another event.
Some good walkout songs.
Yeah,
maybe.
totally.
Well,
Totally.
Yeah, didn't PBR launch a thing in the space?
Oh yeah, our music was on a video that PBR used to launch. I forget what it was. Oh yeah, Into Space.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Very cool. Awesome. Well, tell me about some of your musical influences as a group. I know that some of you guys play in different groups, but which musical influences kind of manifest themselves in this group specifically, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much, right? Just like it's like guitar rock, kind of
Right.
in a
Yeah.
sense. But I'd listen to a lot of the Libertines, like a lot of the Clash, so like British punk, but a lot of like '80s no wave. Love Velvet Underground. I mean, there's so many bands too, right?
Yeah.
Like I love just soul music and funk, and yeah.
Well, I know you're a big fan of Devo, and I love all the new wave stuff from that early '80s, late '70s time period. Probably modern stuff like Ty Segall, the OCs, that kind of thing. What about you, Shaun?
I'm Kyle.
Well, hey, brothers.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that same stuff. I love like Television, Gang of Four, that kind of stuff. And then, drum-wise, always loved Keith Moon. I mean, there's, all the great drummers, but he's always my favorite just because he's a little off the rails. And
Yeah.
you're playing pug shows, it's a little fun to get just kind of wild and let loose.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I can definitely hear some of those elements in your music. You were talking. So you have kids, Shaun, right?
Mhm.
You were talking about kind of introducing them to this kind of music. What are
Yeah.
some of like the gateway artists that you're introducing to your kids?
Well, like my favorite story was when my son was like 3, fresh 3. He would always ask for rock and roll
Okay.
in the car, so I'd try to play some rock and roll, and then he would go, "No, it's wrong." He wanted Motorhead, song Motorhead off the album Motorhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was pretty proud of that, but
Cool.
yeah, like just they like records and stuff too, so it's really fun to just dig through records and
Yeah.
pick out something Sergio Mendes and whatever.
Cool.
Yeah,
Very nice.
the next generation, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Awesome. So what's next for you guys? If today is your last performance as a group, do you have other groups that you're playing in currently? I'll give everyone a chance to speak on this.
Yeah, Garrison, want to go first?
Yeah, so I have another group called Fancy Animals with my girlfriend Rochelle, and we do kind of psychedelic dream pop, kind of shoegaze stuff. And yeah, we're putting out a record soon. We're playing the show tonight. So, yeah.
Well, we hadn't announced this to Garrison, so it's kind of like a shocker. Kyle and I are playing new tunes in a band. We're calling ourselves Speed Riders.
Cool.
And we got Kyle on drums, I'm playing and singing, and then our buddy Mike on bass, and then Mitch, who was Garrison and I's bandmate from Black Diet, playing guitar. So it's rock and roll.
Rock and roll. That's the
Yeah,
sound of it.
Yeah.
Is it?
I call it
somewhat
emotional motorcycle rock at the moment, but I don't really know what it sounds like.
Cool.
Yeah. But,
Very nice. Yeah, and are you the songwriter for that?
I do,
Okay.
yeah, write most of the songs. But
Very cool.
no, I
Awesome.
encourage everyone. Mike wrote a song. Yeah. I say it's a democracy. You know, every band I'm in is a democracy, right? We always
As it
vote,
should be.
like-
Yeah.
yeah,
That's how they
absolutely.
last. I think. Yeah. That's how they last a 5-year hiatus too. I think.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Totally.
That's just time spent on the road, like sleeping on floors together, and
Yeah.
you know,
No, I bet it brings you guys
really
close.
close. Yeah.
Yeah. So one more time, I want you to give the details for your show tonight. So go ahead with that.
Yeah. So We Are What Tyrants, our release show for our new album Lo-Fi High is tonight at Mortimer's. Music starts at 9:00.
Very nice. Cool. And I have one more question for you. It's kind of a fun one. I asked it to every group that comes through. I want you to build a dream bill for yourselves. You get to be on it. You get 3 other groups
Oh my.
to perform on it with
Do
you.
we all pick 3?
Yeah, maybe each of
One
you
each.
gets one to throw on the bill.
Okay, well I'm gonna go first then.
Cool.
Talking Heads.
Nice.
Oh, jeez. Clash.
Interpol.
Sweet. And what's the venue for it?
Ooh. Royal Albert Hall, maybe. Just threw one out there. Yeah. First Ave, actually. First
Yeah.
Ave.
First Ave main room.
It's my favorite. venue.
WrestleMania, maybe.
Yeah.
First Ave main room.
In partnered with.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. WrestlePalooza.
Awesome. That's a great show. That sounds great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in. What Tyrants. Congratulations on the new record
Thank you.
today. Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Totally.
See you at the funeral.
Yeah. Any last words? Any of the members?
No, live your best life.
Cool. Awesome. All right. We're going to kick it back to the booth for some more local music until 5 p.m. Please stick around for it. This is Radio K, Real College Radio.